Okay, y'all. So this is my next video. We're gonna be talking about how I found my general contractor. You can find yours either way, however you want to. I'm just gonna give y'all a couple of key um, points on how to find you a general contractor. All right. Oh, first thing first, you can start with your city. Okay. You can check with city planning or your building department website. So that's how I found the list for mine, the building department website. Okay. Um, they'll have contractors who have pulled permits recently, names tied to approved ADU projects or tiny homes. Okay. Number two, I did ask referrals within um, my area. You know, um, I didn't ask, like, most people ask, do you know a contractor? No, I don't. For me, that was too vague because I'm doing a specific um, project. So I learned my verbiage or my specific language was very important when I was asking for a contractor that is versed in ADUs or either tiny houses. Um, I shortly start getting contractors that do nothing about no damn tiny house. They ain't know nothing about no ADUs. They just knew they was just general contractors, right? So I switched up my verbiage and then um, I started asking different people that was in my neighborhood and things like that. Do you know a contractor who has completed um, a permitted ADU or a tiny house? That's when I started getting the specific results that I needed or contractors that I needed, right? Number three, you want to verify their license, their insurance, and their bond, okay? You need to make sure. You can check the state licensing database. You can confirm if they have active insurance. And also, you can look and see if they have any complaints or suspensions, okay? Um, Also, you can go to the BBB, which is the Better Bureau Business website. I went there as well to check out if the particular contractor had any complaints and what they were complaining about. Because sometimes people put complaints up and they really not valid for real, y'all. Like seriously, people put. Oh, look at that little hair sticking on. People put um, complaints because they just mad because they couldn't pay. So just really sort through those complaints and really read them because sometimes they'll just put y'all know if you're a business owner, you know how people sometimes you can never satisfy them, right? I would at least interview three contractors. Um, when you interview them, number one, I would ask them how many ADUs or tiny houses have they built? Um, who pulls the permit, who manages the plumbing and electrical, who handles the inspection, things like that, right? You just listening, for clarification, just to make sure they align with what your expectations and what you need, right? You want to review their past work, their permits. You need to ask, number one, for completed photos of the bill. You need to ask for permit numbers if you can verify them now, because every permit comes with a permit number, right? So you can actually use those permit numbers to verify um, that they did run. They do have those permits or whatever. You need to ask for final. I would say final inspection approvals. Um, because all of this leaves a paper trail. So you'll know that they not just saying this, but it's true that they have worked with a tiny home. They have gotten approved permits and things like that. You want to compare written estimates and not prices, um, because that's important, y'all. When y'all looking at these estimates, don't just look at the price at the end and be like, nah, I don't want to go with him because his price. You pay for what you get. You get what you pay for. Okay. In the detailed estimate, it's gonna tell you um what it's supposed to. A clear scope of work, the timeline with the milestones, the payment schedule, how he wants you to pay, right? Um if the Just be careful. Just because it's cheaper don't mean it's better. Okay? And then also you want to trust consistency over urgency. Okay? I'm not gonna lie, like the past years I've been working on my patience, right? Because I'm one of them people like if you can't do it right, you can't do it quickly, then I do it my damn self. Okay, well now I'm at the mercy of a contractor's pay, his time, his pace, his research. So you got to understand you need to trust consistency over urgency. Somebody who's trying to hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Mm-mm. I know, and that comes with knowing yourself. Like I know how everything for me has to be urgent a lot of times, but I do know that is a downfall, right, within myself, and so that's why I never pick that type of person because they often um, help me work on my patience. So this contractor that I have now, he has definitely helped me with my patience. And I'm thankful for that because um, I don't need anybody who moves quick, 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 do, 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 do. Because that's how I typically move sometimes. And sometimes I need to sit in the moment. And I learn better when I sit in the moment and I'm patient and I actually go through the process very slowly, right? So sometimes you need to pick the opposite, or you need to pick um, the consistency. You need to pick a contractor that communicates clearly, like encouraging. He encourages or she encourages permits because some contractors do not encourage permits. They like we could do this without, and some a lot of times that'll get you in trouble, especially if in this particular situation. Like I could see not doing a permit because you renovating your bathroom or you doing your fence. I can understand that. But when you are building a tiny house or ADU, in my opinion, you better get you a permit. And a contractor that encourages that is a good contractor. Well, that's a good asset to have, right? Um, don't rush your decision, y'all. Um, do not rush your decision. Trust your intuition. Okay? It's costs a lot of money to go through this. So you don't want to rush it. You don't want anybody else to make a rush decision, right? Um, Contractors, your contractors, and this is my motto. I think a contractor should build structures and trust and not just your structure, right? Now, I don't know. You may not feel that way, and that's fine. But for me, um, I want to have a learning situation with every experience I go through. I should be learning. So either way, you guys follow for the next steps um, in building my ADU and tiny house. Like, follow, share, and comment at the bottom if you have any comments